Hey everybody, it's me Shane. I'm here to give you another Digimon Adventure 2020 episode review, recap, and rate this episode. I'm really excited, so I'm trying to calm myself down so I don't talk too fast. This is episode 23. It's called The Messenger of Darkness, Devimon. So we're just going to go ahead and get right on into this. Get some notes here as I usually do. Try to remind myself and stay on track. Let's begin. This is a doozy. So after the battle with Dark Knight Mon, our heroes had brought down the tower slash castle of Devimon, and lo and behold, before them was Devimon himself. Meanwhile, Koshiro and friends were still trying to handle Calamaramon. They think they might have taken her out, but the tower is still active, and it's still going to make all these boats and barges crash into the dock of Singapore. So, after following up on that, Yamato's telling Takaru, him and Poyomon to go and hide. And, as they plan on facing Devimon because they go through, they say, yeah, you're the one that did the fake Tokyo. You brought Tokyo close to destruction. You did all this stuff to us. Once we beat you, all this stuff is over. And instantly, he used his move Death Claw without even, he just raised his arm, and Devimon hit Metal Greymon. And then he hit Wergarurumon. And at this point, they're trying to figure out what the heck's going on because he's barely moving. And at this point, Taichi says, we need to take cover. Well, actually, Yamato says we need to take cover. And all of them take cover. And they use one of the coolest things was they're using the Digivice as a radio. And what I mean as a radio, like short distance, not when they're in the digital world and other guys in the real world, which they do that. But this one had a nice little chime to it. And he's saying, you need to move between debris, which was really interesting to see massive Metal Greymon try to move around. It was really only one spot from the hide. And, these guys are getting hurt really bad. And, when I mean really bad, I remember back to the episode where Togemon fought Dromodramon. That bad, where, it was, digital shaking on their bodies. I thought they were going to either collapse and digivolve or even just fall out. And they would clearly are shifted back to the real world. And Koshiro saying the systems haven't recovered. Even the people on the ship are saying for some reason our systems have not recovered yet. And Joe said, well, then we defeat Calamari. They're saying we don't think so because if we did, everything should be getting better, right? And Koshiro also says, I think Taichi and others are in deep danger. And he catches Mimi and Joe up to speed, saying, that tower is just like the thing that brought the fake Tokyo to the digital world. It's siphoning digital energy from the real world and sending it somewhere. And we've seen this happen before, referencing back to Aizmon turning into Nidhoggmon, actually turning into Orochimon, then Nidhoggmon. And one of the cute little things on Koshiro's digital laptop device looks like it's Skype. Looks like he uses Skype, which is quite interesting because Skype really sucks. Sorry, it just does. So, back to our fight with Devimon. Taichi realizes there's miasma around them, and he quickly deduces that Devimon is using the miasma as extra limbs. So even though he's far away from them, if he can see them, he can raise his hand and then coalesce that miasma into slamming down on them. Which, he plans on. They plan on doing a counterattack, but as soon as they're about to, Metal Greymon's squashed by a giant hand. And we are quickly seeing a quick glimpse of the crystal that Devimon used to digivolve Skull Knightmon into Dark Knightmon, and it's getting energy from that obelisk and that the others are trying to get rid of. And excuse me. At this point, they're still getting their butts kicked. Where Garumon's getting slashed, Garumon's getting slashed. They can't figure out how to get close to him. TK jumps out, and the bit of Japanese I understand, he was saying, my brother, Onichan Tachi. He's saying, so basically saying, my friends, leave my friends alone, stop hurting them. And at that point, his Digivice glows nice yellow, which Kind of a nod if you pay attention to the new card game that's coming out. Takaru's yellow, but anyway, it glows yellow. Poyomon digivolves and from the baby form to its second baby form or in training form here. It is the cute little Tokomon. And yes, those are extra teeth. This thing is frightening yet cute. And when Devimon sees his Digivolution, he it causing him some kind of angst. He gets really upset, and he just sees the silhouette of Angemon. Like this whole time, he keeps saying my old friend. So I'm gonna save my theories for that at the end. And suddenly, he's asking, specifically asking, what Tokomon, who used to be Angemon, why do you resist the darkness? Just cannot figure out why he's resisting it. And in that crystal, we see a dark form, which I think might be Godramon, but it's very reminiscent of in Digimon Tamers / Season 3 when Gilmon turned into the bad Mega Evolution it had. I cannot remember its name off the top of my head, but had a very snake-like form that was in there. I'm just throwing some guesses out here. Godramon is a holy Digimon, so it could have been a corrupted crystal of his. Don't know. But I digress. At this point, Devimon is starting to freak out and is given the power of evolution. And he show shapes us or super evolves into his ultimate form. Ultimate English, I'm using the English names for these forms. And his ultimate form is Neo Devimon. This guy showed up, according to one of my commenters and followers. This guy showed up in the Tamers manga. Apparently, he was the enemy that they had to fight. Has 6 eyes. This thing is just. He sounded like he was in complete pain while digivolving. So, before we get into what he does, we are quickly sent back to the real world where Joe tells everybody, "Don't worry, guys, it'll be okay," because they're still fighting Calamari. Calamari appeared out of nowhere and wrapped up Bergermon, Togemon, and Kabuterimon, who thought he would have tried to attack, but Calamari wrapped him up too. Ikakumon came from the sky, was going to use his claw, but Calamari has this ink, and the ink has been slowly melting the others, and when it shoots at Ikakumon just falls to the side. Just straight up fail. And so we get a bit of more dialogue going on with the guys trying to figure out how we're going to stop this tower from crashing down on everyone. But that's not solved because we go back to the digital world, and Neo Devimon is horrifically fast. Like he's in front of Taichi and is instantly behind him and Metal Greymon, and is using his new move, which is called Guilty Claw. Puts a gash in his back. He can't fight him. He goes over to Waguruma, who uses the Kaiser nail. He takes his middle finger and thumb and just breaks it. Like literally grabs it like this and breaks it as he's snapping his finger. And they're having the hardest time. They're trying to use Giga Storm to try to hit him. This guy's dodging it everywhere. He even slashed through the Giga Storm that Metal Greymon was doing, which was this. He's obviously getting powered by this crystal, which made him more than enough for these two, who have already had a fight before with Dark Knightmon. And when Koshiro was trying to figure out the situation, he contacts Taichi on the Digivice, but they're going in and out because of interference. But Taichi's kind of saying, we're in the middle, and he's cutting off. They're like, okay, they are fighting something because they're all getting flashbacks of what happened when they were all there, and this instance happened. They are literally down. They're having a hard time with Calamarimon. They're having a really hard time with Neo Devimon. And then, Taichi on their side, on Taichi and Koshiro and Yamato side, saying, no, we can beat him. We can do this. And then on Koshiro's side, he's saying, he's thinking in his mind, you know what? Even if we're all apart, they're fighting, we're fighting. Even when we're all apart, we're all still together. We're all still fighting together. And everyone's Digivices are glowing. Not just Taichi and Yamato's, Takaru, Koshiro, uh, Sora, Mimi, Joe, everybody's Digivice is glowing. They all are saying something inspirational in their minds. Their Digimon, Togemon Rest, they super evolve, instantly are able to pull free of Calamaramon. And uh, not the flower cannon used by Lilymon is disorienting Calamaramon. They use the Hornbuster and Shadow Wing from Garudamon and Alter Kabuterimon to punch a hole in Calamaramon, who's in that squid form, not in the half lady half squid form, but in the squid form, destroying it. Interesting to note, all of them got their full Digivolution sequences. They weren't shortcutted. We got to see it. It was a really great moment, especially with the music. I think the music's name is called Extreme Force. Look it up if you like anime music. And of course, my boy Zudamon gets his hammer and breaks the obelisk in two. Once he breaks the obelisk, that crystal's no longer getting power. Neo Devimon's no longer getting energy from it, and he's dodging their attacks. But then when he finally gets the feedback, he stutters a bit. And at this point, this is where Garurumon kicks into high gear, turns into Sagittarius mode, and fires those spikes, those wing tips that are on the back of Sagittarius mode of where Garurumon. Neo Devimon's trying to fly and trying to avoid him, but he gets caught in a loop where the blades are making him spin. And Metal Greymon takes the time, opens up his chest cannon, does the Giga Destroyer. I thought he was going to transform into Alterius mode, but he didn't. He fires the Giga Cannon, Giga Destroyer. Sorry, Giga Destroyer hits, goes off like a bomb, and destroys Neo Devimon. Mwah. One of the best fight scenes, culminating especially with the music and this whole entire thing. They did the dang thing. So at at this point, Dark Knight Mon appears out of nowhere, reaches his hand out, gets the dark crystal that was deep underneath from where the tower used to be, leaps in the air, gets on his trusty steed, Dark Maeldramon, and he says line. I made sure to write this line down. He says, "For the perseverance that exceeds one's ruin, let there be a last evolution." And from that same hole, the miasma turns and swirls, and we see the bisected body of Neo Devimon. It's just his torso. No, his arms are cut off at the elbow, and it's rising up. Half of the mass, six-eyed mass falls, and we see an eye. And that's where we cut it off today. The encyclopedia for the day was Lilymon, and a mystery point that Koshiro did point out was all the other ultimate levels of the Digimon look like their previous levels, except for Lilymon. Lilymon looks nothing like Togemon, which is probably a good thing for Lilymon. But I digress. Next time, Taichi falls, and apparently this new form of Devimon is called Dun Devimon, pronounced Dan Devimon in Japanese. This is a brand new form. This has never been seen before. I actually got little quick, a little quick preview of what he looks like. Pretty intimidating. Almost looks like Venom Myotismon. Give you another look at that again. I promise we're gonna get better editing so we can see these pictures on the side. But still, it looks like Taichi's been affected by darkness, and I think we might get War Greymon or Theory Time. A lot of times we get these dark evolutions, especially when something bad is happening, and we're at that point where now we can't always use Omegamon / Omnimon. Can't always use Omnimon. I have a feeling that because of the duress Taichi might be going through and the anger Metal Greymon feel, he might turn into Machine Dramon, also known in Japanese as Mugen Dramon, and that'd be pretty interesting. I hope he turns into War Greymon. I really do. They've been giving us hints in the opening theme of the show that eventually War Greymon is coming, but I'm pretty darn excited to see if this actually happens. So yeah, what do I call this episode? I'm gonna flat out give this episode a 5 out of 5. I know the last one I gave 4.5, another one's 4.5. Maybe if I can't, the last 5 I remember giving was the fight with Metal Tyrannomon. That's the last 5 I remember giving. think I might have gave the last episode a 5 as well. This is getting a 5 out of 5 because I feel that they have explained and kind of shown why they were losing to Devimon. Remember, Devimon is just a champion form slash adult form. He's nowhere near ultimate, but he's using the environment around him to get hits that they can't dodge. He's getting extra power from the tower that Calamaramon is guarding. Then he's able to super evolve and still getting power. So he's able to take on these two. And I remember thinking in the middle of the fight, well, how come they don't change modes? Granted, it's going to be hard to point a large rail cannon at something that's moving that fast. But Sagittarius mode did come in once he got weakened, which great job anticipating questions and shutting it down. Great job because Taichi even said this. We won because I feel like the other guys helped us. If Koshiro and the others weren't in the real world, which is where Devimon messed up, if they were in the real world to handle that situation, there's no way these two could have beaten him at all. So kudos on us seeing how important the other four are, because I know that's a complaint a lot of people get. They say it's Tachi and Yamato heavy. I get it, guys. I get it. But they really showed how important the other four are. Those other guys are more than just extra players or extra characters for people to like. They really pulled their weight. I'm appreciating that this is not a repeat of the original Digimon adventure. Granted, by now, I believe in the series they all already had their ultimate forms, and they should be somewhere in the real world, tangling with Myotismon in the original. This they're taking their time with their villains. They're letting this grow and fester, and not only do we see Devimon actually be a force, we see him having a force around him that is causing trouble. And on top of that, he's digivolving, and we're seeing what his next form will be. I'm also glad it's not Myotismon slash Vendemamon. For those of you like myself who know the Japanese name, I'm really glad it's not Myotismon. I'm glad he's getting his own form. I'm glad we're making new Digimon for this. Even if they're coming from older Digimon, I'm glad. Um, yeah, music was on point. There was no lapse in art. This was very vital and pivotal for the series to show that these guys are a team, even when they're taking on different threats, which is really great that they're doing that. I'm really hoping in the future that they break them down even more. Not so much like in the original where you get episodes where it's like, okay, where's these two and then these two, then these two, then they all come together. No, I'm glad we're getting episodes where it's like, here's what these three are doing. Here's what the other four are doing at the same time. We're not having episodes dedicated to that. I want to see more of that where it's like three here, three here. When we get Hikari, the other three here, there's eight of them. Pretty sure I did the math wrong. Three, three, and then two. I'm really hoping we get more of that. We get to see three different groups all doing three different things at the same time. I'm really glad that it doesn't feel like anyone is unimportant, and I'm glad that all this pertains to the story. So yeah, it's getting a 5 out of 5 for me. And they did not forget about Dark Knight Mon. I said towards the end of my last review, you always got to double tap. If you don't see someone's body deteriorating and dissolving, then they're not dead. Neo Devimon died but came back. Funny enough, he's a fallen angel Digimon. So I'm also theorizing that Dark Knight Mon will get another form. I think once Dan Devimon is Kaputski, Dark Knight Mon's probably going to leave, go to whatever dark forces are still waiting for them, and he's going to get another form. I'm betting on that. And I really hope he stays around for a little bit longer. I hope he's not killed towards the end of their fight with Dan Devimon. So, guys, as you can see, I'm elated by this episode. It took me a long time to finish it, not just from the notes, but just from me going back and wanting to, make sure I saw certain things correctly. So tell me, what do you think? Are you excited? Are you fully invested in the story? Are you glad that it's nothing like the old one? that we're getting nostalgia from every different series, while at the same time we're getting some new, fresh things that are going on. Tell me what you think down below. Tell me what Digimon you're looking forward to seeing next, and tell me, do you want the other guys to get, mode changes too? I'm actually interested in seeing what their mode changes would be like if they got them. So, guys, thank you for joining me as you usually do. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified of more videos like this. Again, we do this every Sunday, so don't miss a beat. Always come in and check us out. Always, make sure you share this video so others can see what we're doing on here. And yeah, as always, be good and be blessed. Make sure you wear your mask. Make sure that you always know that Black Lives Matter. And I want you to never forget that I will be seeing you next time.